I'm going to get the line out that I need to start with. Coming towards my fly. Whether he sees it or not, I don't know. Here he comes, he's coming up. He's got it, and I'm in. So there we go. What I was saying, just keeping my eye out to my left in case this fish came back, and it did. So I'm glad I've done that, because that fish there is still over there. So I'm going to play this guy down here, trying to disturb the one that's over in the corner. He saw that fly, made a beeline for it, and just sipped it straight down. And he should come down onto that. There he comes, he's seen the fly, swimming over towards it, sitting under it, he's taking it, and I've got him. There we go. If anyone ever asks you why should we go fly fishing in Tasmania, you just show them that footage there, because that is just absolutely fantastic stuff. That is what it's all about. And you can see here that what we have is another superb, absolutely superb specimen of a brown trout the world over. That is a great fish. Oh. As you can see there, not a bad fish. He's too big for the net. Well, that's a pain. There he is. Woo! There he is. And that is what we've come out here for. That is absolutely sensational. That's a good fish. We'll weigh him just a shade over 9 pounds. That fish is a beautiful example of a Western Lakes brownie, Polaroided out here. And we'll have one last look at him, glistening in the sunshine, before we get him back. And that really is a great reason to come Polaroiding in Tasmania. Beautiful fat fish. There he goes, he wants to go, so I'm going to let him go now. I'm going to say goodbye to him for now. Got it. So here we go. There's a fish, and he's got it, and I've got him. And he's off. So there we go. Another fish Polaroided in the shallows. Got the cast out in front of him. And by gee, am I disappointed with that. Oh. There's a fish. Oh, that's just incredible, that is. That fish has just swum over to it, and the fly sunk. Hopefully he'll come nicely to the net, and he has. And another beautiful fish here, caught in amongst the trees, Polaroiding. And what would normally be quite a tough day out here. Just going to get that black spinner there that you might be able to make out there. And that's the fly that he just sucked down. And that was actually submerged when he took it. Actually swam over and took that under the water. But another beautiful brown trout there. Gorgeous fins, great markings, small head. Another one that deserves to go back. Giving me a lot of pleasure there. That should be it. I think I just missed him. Got him that time. Oh, and he's cut up. Got those bushes around there. Just shows, getting out this strap weed out of these tea trees. Oh, dearie me. Wow. Oh, he is giving me some. This fish, he's really giving me some. But another very fat, beautiful fish. Absolutely stunning fish. Again, polaroiding out of the boat, using the height that we have when we're up on top, using that to our advantage. Another gorgeous, gorgeous Arthur's Lake fish, 2¼ pounds, polaroided off the boat, in the trees, single fly, wonderful stuff. That's what summer sport's all about. Really does not get much better than that at all. Watching him swim over that grass, it really is a pleasure, and it's a pleasure that I hope that you enjoy as much as I do when you get out here and give this technique a go. Got him. Well, that fish was just working up the slick, and I put the fly out to his right hand side, or the fish's left, and unfortunately the fish moved the other way, which you often get here, particularly if you happen to get a rainbow. I don't think this one is a rainbow, I think this one's a brown. There he is there. So that was fantastic. He was actually feeding downwind a minute ago, and now he's starting to come back up. He looks like a pretty large trout. I'm going to try and present to him now. He's seen it. Got it, and I've got him. A fish cruising up the slick. Hopefully you managed to catch that in the camera. Would have been fantastic if you did. He was just moving side to side from slick to slick. I'll add him if I can. Got it, and I've got him. And there he is. A brownie. Probably. The way he was swimming, he looked like a brownie. And here is another classic Tasmanian brown trout in superb condition. A wonderful fish. Looking quite dark actually. This one looks like Yep, got him. Well, that fish just jumped clean out of the water after the flies, but I was just stripping a little bit more quickly that time, just trying to get the flies to come back straight across the top of the water, perhaps just ½ an inch or so below the surface, so that if there was a fish at any point and he refused me, I would definitely be able to see it, and that fish couldn't resist that, and he took the claret dabbler that I had on the point. Not a particularly big fish again, but very aggressive towards the fly. Took that very well. Really came at it hard. First, I'm just searching around, so I'm making relatively long casts just to see if they'll take on the strip or whether they'll take it on the dibble. If they tend to be taking it on the strip more so than the dibble or the lift, then I'll tend to make longer casts, strip a lot more. Oh, like that one there. Just had a fish take on the strip. Don't know what fly he was on. Here he comes again. Yep, I've got him. Oh, he's a good fish too. Felt a little bit of weight there. He wasn't there. I got the fly back in exactly the same spot as quickly as I could, a couple of strips, and he pounced on the fly. So you've really got to be aware all the time of what's going on. Even though you're stripping wet flies, you've really got to watch closely at the back of your fly line. if nothing else, it's shown you how effective the method can be by fishing these 3 flies in a team, trying to keep his head up here now out of this weed. Some of the best lock style fishing occurs around big weed beds like this, so he's a very nice fish, and he's on the middle fly. So that's a sedge pattern that I've put on there, so it's a winged wet fly. It's not quite as fine or as skinny as the fly that I have on the point. Remember what we discussed earlier on about fly selection and teams of flies? Well, this is my winged wet. It's in the middle. I've got my big bushy one at the top and a thinner profile fly on the point. And there he is, he's in the net. And he's a lovely, lovely fish that's come to the lock style wets. Dull overcast conditions, ideal for this. Once again, a lovely fish caught here on Arthur's Lake in the Tasmanian Highlands on an ancient technique. I've got him. So there we go. Got him. So there you go. That just gives you an idea. Just a slow draw across the surface of the water as I thought the fish was close to the fly. So I just overshot the path of the fish as the fish was swimming along. Just put the cast a little bit beyond where I thought it was going to be, and then just twitched it in line with the fish as he came along. Got him. Well, there we go. That fish circled back around and nailed that fly. Oh, that's some good air on that. There we have it. Got him. And there we go. That was that slow draw with the wet fly. We've got a rainbow on here that's putting up a decent display. Right. There we have it. Nice rainbow. There it is. Beautiful rainbow trout taken on the little burnt orange wet fly there, but any of those winged wets will do the job as long as you get them in the right place. We've seen the mud-eye work, and this is the result of the little wet flies twitched across in front of the fish. Now it's just a turn of the dry fly with a nymph underneath it. Well, it worked. That fella. Dark, dark fish. Again, very indicative of the tannin stained water that we get in a few places around Tassie. But a beautiful fish nonetheless. And he's got the nymph embedded in his top jaw. Just going to try and get the fly. He's seen it land, and he's got it. And there we go. That is unbelievable stuff. Oh, I'm gonna have to get out there. So there he is. I've got mud all over me, but there is the fish. Not massive, £1.25, possibly £1.5, somewhere in between there. Typical fishing here on the west coast of Tasmania in the evening times. Had the mud-eye right in the corner of his jaw. Another fantastic fish. And this is a classic fish for this sort of area. Average size, £1.75, couple of pound. Feisty fish, do a lot of their feeding early in the morning, late in the evening, and throughout the night. Perfect time to be here. And I tell you, it's exciting fighting fish at night. It really is. Oh, bit of a jump. And again, there he is. Oh, he's a rainbow. Wow. There we go. I tell you what, Tasmania, eh? 24/7. What a great place to fish. That was a classic take. So there we go. And I was just really keen to try and show you that indicator going under. And another gorgeous fish. Wow. Didn't he just take that with absolute gusto? The fly hit the water and the fish was onto it in a flash, just like that. Brilliant markings. So aggressive for such a small fish. But a fish that size is almost like the king of this stretch. The expectations there, and half of this sort of fishing is about the expectation. When your fly hits the water after you've had a couple of takes, a little bit right, that one didn't go quite where I intended to, but the fish has got it, and I've got him. Oh, he's really trying to get into those reeds. Now I've got him down here. There's one more log he can go for, but I've got him out now, and here he is. Oh, there we go. Finally got a cast in the right spot. Up ahead of me here, fly hit the water and it was a typical grasshopper take. A big slapping, smashing grab. The fish has seen it land and raced over to it and grabbed it. Oh, that's better. I think I might have hit him just a fraction hard. With these light rods, particularly around grasshopper time, you can have a lot of fun. I'm just going to twitch it back. Oh, there we go. Small flies, pole-rotted fish in these little, in these little rivers and creeks, and that's a beautiful little fish for this sort of. It really does help to be able to hear them take the fly. Right, now that's on. Let's see how we go. See if they like this one a little bit better. Yep. Well, there we go. Almost instant results.